Okay, so here I am. I've decided to wet block my cowl. And so I wanted to, first I've got it laid out. I've got my blocking boards on the table and just got a towel laying out. But at first I wanted to show you measure, because I want to see, how much we gain from wet blocking. And so I have my water set out just at room temperature. It's going to sit in there for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to roll it up in this towel. So you can see right now it's about 21 inches. I'd say about 21 inches. See if I can get that on there. And so, I'm curious to see how much this grows with wet blocking. So stay tuned. Okay, so here it is. You just gently place it in the water. You want to make sure that you don't squeeze it. You're not trying to wring it or anything, wring it out to remove the water. You're just gently letting it soak. I want to make sure it's fully submerged in the water to kind of open up all the fibers. And so I'm going to now leave that for 15 minutes, and then I'll show you how we roll it up in the towel. Okay. Okay, so now it's been sitting for 15 minutes. So like I said, now it's time to just gently, you don't want to wring it, you want to just gently squeeze the water out. You just want to be very gentle with it, because you're not wanting to, it's not going to be a dish towel, it's not anything rough. You just want to gently squeeze the water out. You can kind of lay it over itself and gently squeeze. So there's a good bit still coming out. Okay, so then I'm going to remove my water. All right, so now remove my pins. I'm going to lay it out on my towel. And what we're going to do now is just roll it up to make sure, in the towel, to make sure that all the water gets squeezed out of it, taken out of it. So then I'm just going to roll it in my towel, kind of patting it as I go. Not pressing hard, not doing anything too, damaging to the fibers, just enough so that it's pressed down in there. All right, and then I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit, just to make sure all the water is pressed out, and then we'll go to the next part. Okay, so now we're going to pin it to our board. And so you've set it, let it set for a little bit. You feel pretty confident all the water. See, I can feel the water in my towel. So I feel like it's done a good job. So now I'm gonna take it out of here, remove my towel. All right, so now is when you're gonna pin it to your board. And I've got these T-pins, which are just basically, look exactly like what they are called, a T-pin. Looks like a little T. And so I'm going to take my project and I'm going to start here. I just want to make sure there's plenty of space before I pin that it's going to be able to, you know what, I might need to go this way. I think I'm going to go at an angle with it. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to pin it basically in its spot. And you're going to need, a good bit, because you're basically telling the yarn where to go and what to do and how to find its shape. So you just want to go around. And this will really open up your stitches so you can really see your project, like, all the work that you put into it. Now is when the stitches really come alive and you can see what your pattern was all about. So I'm just going to go around pinning this to my board, and then I'm going to let it sit overnight, and then we will see what it looks like next time. Now, because I was doing a video, I've done this on my dining room table, which means I have to now move this to my laundry room so I can use my table. But, so you probably, when you do this, you want to go ahead and pin it together in the place where you're going to leave it. That way you don't have to move it again. Like I said, I'm going to end up having to move mine because this is my dining room table. Sometimes it could be a little fiddly to get in. And I'm trying to be very gentle with it, so I'm probably putting more pins in it than you actually need, but I just want to, this shape of this cowl has a particular shape, as you can see, and I just really want to make sure that that shape comes out, because I think it'll be a unique part of this cowl. And then I will let it dry overnight, and I'll let you see what it looks like. Okay. So I wanted you to see how it looks with all the pins in. I went and opened it up in each one of these little picots. So hopefully that, because that's such a cute design feature. And then look at that starburst. That's not what it's called. I think it's called the Harlequin stitch, but just look at that. It's beautiful. So anyway, just wanted to see let you see what it looks like all pinned down. And now we wait overnight and see what it looks like. Okay, so now it's the next morning, and I let it dry overnight, and now we're just going to go around and take all the pins out and see, we'll measure it again and see how the blocking did. Okay, so I've taken all the pins out, and as you can see, it's pretty much stayed its shape. All the stitches are nice and open. We're going to measure. Now, the first time I did this thing from tip to end was 22 inches. And so now we're almost at 31. So if you come down here, definitely. I mean, it has, and you can see, I mean, it's just, look at that open stitch. And look at all this beautiful work here. You can just see how beautiful it opened all the stitches. And this is just, now it's a really nice, look at how all these edges are standing open. I mean, this is just why I fully believe in blocking a project. It just makes all the difference to all your stitch work. And it pretty much lets your project actually grow into the shape that you want it to be. And so now I will finish the cowl, and I'll let you know what it looks like.